นะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะนะโมตัสสะภะคะวะโตอะระหะโตสัมมาสัมพุทธัสสะสาธุ Hello everyone hello Maria and hello Greg good morning good evening everyone today you see me again Khemavamsi from Thailand from Mahawanatuthangka the Dhamma discussion today we're gonna learn the fitting deeds fitting actions the actions that are considered to be proper to be like what you should do. But I would like to mention that this sutta, this discourse, is actually beneficial because it's the teachings that the Buddha taught to the lay person. This sutra, the Buddha mentioned, the Buddha taught to the Anatha Pindika Sethi, one of the renowned upasaka or the layman in the Buddha's era. So yeah, it's good to learn. Hello Jay, hello Manao, hello MG, Sadhu. Okay, let's start. The fitting deeds. This is from the English translation from Bhikkhu Suchato. And I'm gonna, give you the link from the Sutra Central. This sutra is from Anguttara Nikaya Patthama Pattakamma Vakka or the AN 4.61. Okay, 4.61. This discourse, as I mentioned, the householder, the layman, Anatha Pindika, went up to the Buddha, bowed, and sat down to one side. And the Buddha said to him, the householder, these four things which are likable, desirable, and agreeable are hard to get in the world. What for? So if you notice here, like Anatha Pindika or the layman did not ask anything. He just, went up to the Buddha and sat down to one side, just like ready to, discuss or maybe get a teaching from the Buddha, right? And then the Buddha said, householder, Anatha Pindikas, these four things which are likable, desirable, and agreeable are the good things, right? Are hard to get in the world. These four things are hard to get in the world. What for? The first thing is the wish. May wealth come to me by legitimate means. So the first thing is the wealth. We all would like to have the wealth, right? To be wealthy, to be rich, to have a lot of money and a lot of income, right? But may wealth come to me by legitimate means, by like I have my own rights to that money. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Like I earn that and I have the rights to that money, to that wealth. Because sometimes that, the wealth come to you, but it doesn't come to you by legitimate means. You don't have the right to that. So all the bad things, all the problems and troubles gonna come from that wealth, right? So the first thing that it is desirable, agreeable, and hard to get in the world is the wealth that come to you by legitimate means. The second thing is having got wealth, you have got the wealth that you wish already, is the wish, may fame come to me. Now, fame, being famous, or you have like the new promotion, you have the fame, the dignity, you have like the rank, all that means, all that things, fame, dignity, or it can means that, like the the good reputation in the society. With all that, come to me together with my family and teachers. Here, if it's in Thai translation, it means like come together with family, with my cousin, and with my friends, and all the people that are, like with me. So if we think, in the society, the first thing that we want, maybe like most of people, right, would like to be rich. May wealth come to me. And when you got wealth, when you rich, next you're gonna seek for the fame, to be famous, to be well known, to be recognized, to be, like to be someone in the society for something like that. But not only you, may fame come to me together with my people, family, cousins, friends, teachers, the one that I love, all my people, may they have, the same rank, the same happiness, just like me. The third thing, having got wealth and fame, is the wish, may I live long, keeping alive for a long time. After you got all the wealth that you need, you got the fame, you know, with the new promotion, then you wish to like to live long, to have a pleasant time with all those wealth and fame, right? I want to um, be healthy. I want to live long enough to see my family happy with all the wealth and the fame that I got, right? To live long enough to see my grandchildren, something like that. So the third thing that is likable, desirable, but hard to get in the world is for you to wish to live long, keeping alive for a long time. And the last one, the Buddha said, the fourth thing, having got wealth, fame, and long life, is the wish, when my body breaks up after death, may I be reborn in a good place, a heavenly realm. So these are the four things, the four things that are likable, desirable, but hard to get in the world. The first one, wealth. Next, fame. Next, to live long, longevity. And the last one, after I die, may I be reborn in the good place. I'm happy now in this life. The next life, I want to be happy just the same. So this four thing that the Buddha said is a good things in life, likable, desirable, but hard to get. And then after that, the Buddha said, these next four things lead to the getting of those four things. So I'm gonna tell you the structure. Sorry, I forgot to mention about the structure of this discourse. Discourse in the like what's it called? The Anguttara Nikaya is mean like the number discourse, right? And this one is number like the four discourse, like have the four things. But in this sutra, you can see that the Buddha talk about the first four things that are hard to get in the world, and next talk about the next four things that lead you to the one that I just mentioned, in this book, in this sutra. Okay, these four things are hard to get in the world, but likable and desirable, right? And the next four things, if you do this, if you follow this, it's gonna lead you to wealth, fame, longevity, and be reborn in a good destination. So it's just like the Buddha mentioned about the outcome, right? The consequence, the outcome. the pleasant outcomes that we would love to get. And then the Buddha said, you know what? If you follow this is the factors, this is the cause. If you do this, you can get those nice things that are hard to get. So now we're gonna learn the next four things lead to getting of those four things. What for? Accomplishment in faith, ethics, generosity, and wisdom. So mention about this is, it's kind of interesting that if we compare this to the Four Noble Truths, right? The Four Noble Truths is just in the same pattern. The Buddha mentioned about the suffering, dukkha. Okay, the suffering is like this. And then, what is the cause of the suffering? Then the Buddha mentioned the cause of suffering, samuddayo, samudaya. And then I know that you have the outcome, the suffering, and then you learn about the cause of suffering. Then the third noble, the Four Noble Truths, the third one, I'm going to give you the way out, the end of suffering, cessation of suffering. This is the outcome. And next, you want to get rid of the suffering, right? Then you need to follow this. This is the factor. Number four, the last one. No, the Noble Eightfold Path, Aliyya Makha. This is the way out, the way to get to the end of suffering. So it's just like in the same pattern. The Buddha, when he preach, when he teach, right? A lot of the time, he's gonna raise the outcome first. This is the outcome. It's good, right? But hard to get. You want to get that? Do this four. And if you accomplish in these four, you can get that pleasant outcomes. So now we're gonna learn how to accomplish in faith, ethics, generosity, and wisdom. Number one, the first thing to accomplish is the faith. What is accomplishment in faith? Is when a noble disciple has faith in the realized one's awakening. That blessed one is perfected, a fully awakened Buddha, accomplished in knowledge and conduct, holy, knower of the world, supreme guide for those who wish to train, teacher of gods and humans, awakened, blessed. So the first one, it sounds easy, right? But some people find it hard to really believe in have faith in the Buddha's awakening. So if you see, the blessed one is perfected, a fully awakened Buddha. This is actually the chanting when we chant Iti Piso Bhagava Araham Samma Samputo Vichya Jarana Sampanno Sukhato Loka Vitu Anuttaro Purisa Dhamma Sarati Sattha Teva Manusanang Putto Bhagavati. This is in Thai accent, right? But it's in Pali language. So when we chant Iti Piso Bhagava Araham Samma, actually we chant to praise the noble quality of the Buddha, the blessed one, right? So if we accomplish, if we have faith in the awakening, the liberation of the Buddha, that means you accomplish in faith. And this is one of the factors that can lead you to the good outcome, good consequence in life. But some people find it easy to have faith, but some people find it hard to have faith, right? It depends. So how to raise the faith within you, like for me, in the past, I don't have faith in the Buddha. But once I, encounter with the suffering, and once I have listened to the Buddha's teaching, after that, I have faith in the teaching, in the Buddha's teaching, and in the Buddha himself. because sometimes when we study the Tipitaka, the Buddha's teachings, sometimes we listen to something that we don't understand, right? Nice. It's kind of hard to understand, and it's kind of hard to believe, like, did he really do that, or like, is there really a noble disciple or something like that? But for me, it's just like, okay, at first, I I try to, like, at that time, I actually don't try to do anything, because I was like, no faith, no religion, in the past, even though I was born as a Buddhist. I don't really believe in that. But once I encounter with the suffering, I know that, okay, the cause of suffering is this. And it's kind of lucky for me, like, because I was born in Thailand and, raised in Thailand, and we familiar with the teachings of the Buddha, because we Buddhist, right? You know, by the religion that we say that we Buddhist, but we don't really understand that. But but anyway, when, even though you don't really understand that, but we can hear a lot of the teachings, right? Okay, the cause of suffering is the greed, the craving, something like that. And once I encounter, experience the suffering, once I have listened, and it's just like, oh yeah, actually it's the truth, right? And then I try to investigate. It's just like in the characteristic of the Dhamma, right? It can be investigated, and it welcome you to investigate. So I investigate the Dhamma. Is it real? Is the craving the cause of suffering? And when the further that I investigated, the more that I see that actually is the truth. I cannot deny that. I cannot find, like, something to agree with that. So after that, I have the faith in the Dhamma, the Buddha's teaching. And, like, naturally, if you have the faith, if you believe in the Dhamma that, yeah, it's real. Greed, craving is the cause of suffering. Get rid of the greed, get rid of the craving, end of suffering. And I try many times and it works. So it's just like, okay, now I have the faith in the Buddha himself. Just like when the Buddha said, like, I don't know in English, but Buddha ห็นทุกข์, the one who see the suffering, that person see the Buddha. The one who see the suffering, that person see the dependent origination. When you see the dependent origination, then you see the Buddha himself. So the way, the way for you to lead you, the way that lead you to accomplishment in faith, maybe you should try to, like, listen to the Dhamma, to the Buddha's teachings more and more, and then compare with yourself, investigate, practice, and be able to experience by yourself. Because the faith, belief and faith, things like that, you need to see for yourself until you have the firm belief, right? For example, when people say, like, lemon is, sour. And when you're a kid, when you're a baby, you don't know what sour tastes like. You don't know what lemon tastes like, right? So after you taste it, after you experience by yourself that, okay, lemon tastes like this is called sour. Chili tastes like this called spicy. It has the flavor like this, like that. You know it by yourself, you experience by yourself, and that one, you know, you will know for sure by yourself. It's just something like called pachatang, like by yourself. And after that, the faith gonna grow more and more. So yeah, for you to accomplish in faith, maybe learn more about the Buddha's teaching, compare the teachings with your life, and then use it, investigate, and embrace the Dhamma into yourself, use it, practice it, and know it for yourself. This is the first one, accomplishment in faith. Next, what is accomplishment in ethics or conduct, moral conduct, or precepts? In Pali, they use the word sila sampatha, sila, precepts, moral conduct, or ethics. It's when a noble disciple doesn't kill living creatures, doesn't steal, doesn't commit sexual misconduct, doesn't lie, or doesn't take alcoholic drinks that cause negligence. See, it's not that hard, right? Accomplishment in ethics here doesn't talk about, like 43 precept for the bhikkhu bhikkhuni or the patimokkha precept, like 227 for the bhikkhu, 311 for the bhikkhuni. The Buddha didn't talk about that. The Buddha didn't even mention about like the 8 precepts. In this sutra, the Buddha mentioned only 5 precepts. Why? Because it's for the householder, like normal people, ordinary people. The householder, 5 precepts, just like that. That's it, as the foundation, as the basis. And then if you want to step up, you want to advance, to be advanced in the ethics, then okay, 5 precepts, standard, and then 8 precepts from time to time. And then after that, if you wish to follow the holy life, and then maybe like 10 precepts as a novice, and then 43 precepts like normal for the bhikkhu bhikkhuni or patimokkha, 227 and then 311, something like that. So it's not that hard, right? Just 5 precepts here in this discourse. Next, what is accomplishment in generosity? In Pali, jaka sampatha. Jaka means generosity. Maybe just like to give, to donate, to offer. You can have many translations. It's when a noble disciple lives at home, rid of the stain of stinginess, freely generous, open-handed, loving to let go, committed to charity, loving to give and to share. So as you can see, jaka or generosity here actually has the broad meaning than to be, generous. But it's when here you live at home, but when you live at home, you get rid of the stinginess, right? Freely generous, you give out. Open-handed, just like this. Okay, I love to give. I love to, to give you this. I love to share. I love to help. Open-handed. Loving to let go. This is interesting. What is loving to let go? When some people, when they give the dana is meant to offer, to give, right? But when they give something and they want something in return. For example, you give mango in your house, right, to your neighbor, and then you want the help from the neighbor. When you have something in your house, like maybe your house, maybe you lost your key in front of your house, and then you want, your neighbors to help you, and you say like, that time I gave you mango, so this time you should help me back, or something like that. This is something like, don't let go. I give you, and then I want something in return in the future. But jaka or accomplishment in generosity is just like give, and then if you're gonna use it or not, up to you. If you're gonna remember me or not, it doesn't matter. If you're gonna return me any favor or not, I want nothing in return. I just love to give, love to share, love to help without wanting anything in return. This is the accomplishment of generosity. So it's kind of, have slight difference between, like dana, just give, because sometimes when you give, offer the food to the monastic, to the monks, and then, I wish to be reborn in the heavenly realm, something like that. But Jaka, I just want to give. We have seen, like here we have seen people just like, okay, I give you that, and then next time, please use the shoes that I gave you, okay? I want to see you use that shoe, something like that. Or some people, like, is for the monastic, is the way that we train ourselves for some people, right? Like when we are newly ordained and when we get something that maybe is like too good for me, like we can use like 100 baht. It's just we can use like, I don't know, in maybe 10 US dollar. I don't know that how much for the slipper, right? But I can use just like $10 slipper, but you gave me $100 slipper. Oh, I'm just newly ordained. It's too much, too good for me. So you offer that slipper, $100 slipper, to the one who is your teacher or something like that. So we train ourselves. I don't know in other places, but we train ourselves like this. Like, okay, for the newly ordained, you should be like modest. You should like don't use like luxurious things. So we give to another, renown or another, person, but we don't give that in front of the lay people. We give it, like, okay, now you gave me the $100 slipper, right? Okay, give you the blessing. Thank you so much. And then without them seeing, we're gonna, offer to someone that, like higher in virtue. But some people just like, okay, last time I gave you the slipper, I need to see you use that. And when they know that we, offer to someone as a teacher, and they just like get mad at you. So that is not the accomplishment in generosity, because you still think that I own that slipper. That slipper I gave you. You should wear, something like that. So yeah, so our prajan, our teacher, said that the lay people need to train themselves too, and the monastic have to train yourself too. Mm. But if you wish to train yourself to be modest, up to you. If you don't wish to train themselves, if you don't wish to train yourself like that, it's up to you as well. You can choose what to do. Okay. Yeah. So loving to let go, committed to charity, loving to give and to share. Okay. Next, what is accomplishment in wisdom? When the heart or when the mind is mastered by greed, covetousness, and immoral greed, you do what you shouldn't and fail to do what you should, your fame and happiness fall to dust. When the mind is mastered by ill will, dullness and drowsiness, restlessness and remorse, doubt, you do what you shouldn't and fail to do what you should, your fame and happiness fall to dust. Knowing that covetousness and immoral greed are corruptions of the mind, that noble disciple gives them up. Knowing that ill will, dullness and drowsiness, restlessness and remorse, doubt is a corruption of the mind, that noble disciple gives it up, give them up. When a noble disciple has given up these things, they are called a noble disciple of great wisdom, of widespread wisdom, who sees what matters and is accomplished in wisdom. This is called accomplishment in wisdom. These are the four things that lead to the getting of the four things which are likable, desirable, and agreeable, but hard to get in the world. So the last one, accomplishment in wisdom. You can notice here as well that the Buddha did not talk about something that, like too confusing to get, the Buddha did not teach like the dependent origination or the Four Noble Truths. He did not mention about the five aggregates, which is like sometimes it's, you know, five, confusing to understand, right? For the lay people, especially. So here, if you wish to accomplish in the wisdom in this sutra, the Buddha mentioned about the Nivarana in Pali. Nivarana is the five things that obstruct you, the five hindrances, the five things that obstruct you from all wholesome qualities. What are they? The greed, covetousness, sensual desire. Second one, ill will. Third one, dullness and drowsiness. Number four, restlessness and remorse. And the last one, vicikiccha or doubt. If you have these five hindrances, five things that obstruct you from the wholesome qualities, if you know that it is the corruption of the mind, it's something that obstruct you to those wholesome quality. If you know that, give them up, abandon it, get rid of it, get rid of the five hindrances. If you know what are they, if you know that they are the corruption of the mind, if you know that it's unwholesome quality, get rid of them. And if you can get rid of them, that means that um, you can be called a noble disciple of great wisdom, of widespread wisdom, who see what matters. You see what are the wholesome and unwholesome. Let the wholesome qualities grow, abandon unwholesome qualities. This is the accomplishment in wisdom. So it's not that hard, right? So if you can accomplish in faith, ethics, generosity, and wisdom, these are the four factors that lead you to get the wealth, fame, longevity, and heavenly realm that are considered pleasant, desirable, agreeable, but hard to get in the world. Okay, so now you know the cause and the consequence, cause and effect, right? But it's not all. Next, this is the third part of the discourse. The Buddha mentioned about the fitting deeds, the topic that I raised today. The Buddha said there are four fitting deeds, fitting actions that a noble disciple does with the legitimate wealth he has earned by his efforts and initiative, built up with his own hands, gathered by the sweat of the brow. What for? So once you get what you wish, that means like now the Buddha, the first section, consequence, outcome. The second section, the factor, the cause. And then once you accomplish, once you earn the wealth, get that money, get that wealth, you have to know what are the fitting actions. After you earn that wealth, here the Buddha said, a noble disciple does with the wealth he has earned. What are the four fitting actions? To start with his legitimate wealth, he makes himself happy and pleased, keeping himself properly happy. He makes his mother and father happy. He makes his children, partners, bond servants, workers, and staff happy. He makes his friends and colleagues happy. This is his first expenditure in an appropriate sphere or at deserved and fitting cost. This I would like to like when we study the discourse, you like for some people they study the discourse, they study the content, right? But okay, this is the content. Oh, this is good. This is the Four Noble Truth. Oh, this is the dependent origination. Wow, sound confusing, but it's good, right? But sometimes we have to learn that not all the teachings that are like not all the teachings that um how can I put into words, like you have to learn the content is good, but you need to know like who the Buddha addressed to, who the Buddha taught this content to, because we can know like sometimes for me like, oh, this is so hard, this is so hard to understand, and then I go up and see like who the Buddha taught this sutra to. The Sariputta, the verbal Sariputta. Wow, the verbal Sariputta. He's like, he has like, you know, the greatest in wisdom in all the noble disciple, right? So okay, now that's why I don't get that one, because maybe the knowledge is not that high. It's not my level just yet. So I need to learn like, okay, which content that I should study. The Buddha has, variation of the teachings that you can listen or you can learn, right? But you need to at least know like who the Buddha taught to. For this one, it's good for the lay people. Why? Because the Buddha taught this specific discourse to the lay people, to the householder. So the first one, the Buddha did not say like, okay, the fitting action is for you to go to the forest, sit by yourself under the root of the tree, and then contemplate the bones, the corpse, contemplate, the the basis of the meditation. The Buddha did not talk about that. The first one, he said, start with the wealth he makes himself happy and pleased. Start with yourself. Make yourself happy and pleased. And then, what else? Make your mother and father, your parents happy. Make your children, your husband, your wife, your partner, your workers, your staff, people around you, your friends, your colleagues, your teachers, everyone surround you, make them happy. This is the first expenditure in an appropriate sphere on a deserved and fitting cost, right? So this is for the householder. You should give yourself something that make you happy, something that doesn't cause you any problem. So you should be able to know like what is good and what is bad, what is wholesome and unwholesome, and make yourself happy and pleased. This is struck me because normally when we say like, okay, once I got the money, make other people happy, buy something for my parents, buy something for my children, buy something for my partner, and then you forgot yourself, right? It happened to me, it happened to you. I think maybe we tend to forget your happiness. Everyone around me deserve happiness, but you forget yourself. Here in this discourse, I love this one because the Buddha said, he makes himself happy and pleased. You make yourself happy. and then people around you. This is the first thing. Next, furthermore, with his legitimate wealth, he defends himself against threats from such things as fire, flood, rulers, bandits, and unloved heirs. He keeps himself safe. This is the second expenditure in an appropriate sphere on the deserved and fitting cause. Once you make yourself and people around you happy, next you learn to defend yourself, to prepare yourself, protect yourself from the threats. From what? Fire. You have any like fire, like insurance or not? Right? Because sometimes all your wealth, all your belonging, got destroyed in the fire, right? You need to protect yourself from that. You need to, like try, like check all the equipment and okay, this is maybe we should like make sure about the equipment this is in the good condition or not, something like that. Prepare, prevent yourself from the threat from fire. Prevent yourself from flood. Right now in Thailand, you might have heard the news like we have like flood, like severe flood in the northern part of Thailand, actually in our province, in Lampang province as well. We just got the flood like 2 days ago, but in this monastery, we don't have the flood. But in the central of the city have the flood, and also in Chiang Rai, got destroyed like one floor. The first floor of the house, all flooded, something like that. So you need to defend, you protect yourself from the stress from flood, from water as well. And then threats from rulers. Why? Because in the Buddha's era, the ruler, like the king, has all the authority, right? They can say like, okay, kill that person, okay, punish that person, you do that, you do this. So sometimes they have the threat from the king himself. So prevent yourself from that, and also prevent the wealth from bandits and or unloved heirs. Not all the heirs, not all the children that gonna love and then like take care of you. Sometimes they come and take all your belongings, take all your wealth. So defend yourself from the unloved heirs as well. Keep yourself safe. This is the second expenditure. Third, furthermore, with his legitimate wealth, he makes 5 offerings to relatives, to guests, to ancestors, to king, and to deities. In the on the 17th of this month, 2 days ago, in Thailand, especially in the northern part of Thailand, they have the ceremony called Peta Pali. Peta Pali is mean the offerings to the late, to the dead people, to the late one, to the dead people. So I don't know that you have that in the Western or not, but here, it's in the full moon of the 10th month, I think, or 12th month in the northern calendar. They have the big ceremony once a year that they're gonna, do the offering to the temple, to the monastery, and, give all the merit to your ancestor, to your like late parents, things like that. So they have the ceremony, the big ceremony called Peta Pali. It's from where? It's from this course. That's why I brought this up, because I have the Thai Dhamma teaching in this course as well. This is the origin of the tradition of that ceremony, Peta Pali. The Buddha said, the fitting action, the fitting deeds for you to do is to make the offering to who? 5 offerings Make the offering to your relatives as well. You don't, you know, take care of your parents, your partner, your children, your friends, your colleagues. Make the offering to relatives as well. Make the offering to guests. Welcome the guests and then make offering to guests. Make offering to ancestor because you know they passed away a long time and you need to remember them and then make merit to them. Make offering to king. What does that mean? It means from during this time it means like you pay the tax. In the past, that I don't know what's it called in English, but not a tax, but you need to give something, to offer something to the king, like, okay, please keep me safe. Okay, I'm gonna offer you something. You need to offer to the king as well because he has a full authority at that time. And right now we pay tax, right? In Thailand we still have the king, but like in some places they have like pay tax to the government or something like that. And then offering to deities, to the angels, to like um creatures in the heavenly realm. The deva, yeah, the deva, not the creatures. The deva is the heavenly realm. Amaratas Amaranta said, here in Mexico, we have something similar in October and November. Oh, I think it's interesting, right, that we have like similar in China as well. As we have learned in China, they have the period that you do the offering. It already passed maybe during August to early September. They have the period that they say like, okay, the hell gate has opened, so we do offering to the hell creature, something like that. That is from China, right? And yeah, 2 days ago we have the Peta Pali offering to the ancestor. And the last one is interesting, the offering to deities, to the Deva. Why is it important? Um, I don't know in in the Western country, but especially in Thailand, mm, yeah, during this area, um, of course, Buddhists, we believe in the Deva, right? The deities, we believe in that, and just as in the Ratana Sutra, the discourse called Ratana, the jewels, the gems sutra, the Buddha mentioned about like the Deva, right? I have to mention about the Ratana Sutra first, the sutra about the gem, the triple gem. The Buddha taught this sutra for, like try to help people in Vaishali in India. Because at that time in that country, they have like the drought, they have like the like pandemic, something like that. And the king, invite the Buddha, like, can you come in and help people here because many people, die from the pandemic, die from the drought, and bad things happen in my country, something like that. So the Buddha went there to the Vaishali, right? And then he gave this teaching, Vatana Sutra. In the introduction, in the first two parts of the discourse, the Buddha said like, Deva, people who are your relatives, they offer you in the daytime and in the nighttime. Don't be reckless. Come and help people that worship you. You need, for the Deva, you need to come and help people that offer to you in the past. Don't be reckless. Come and help. This is from the Ratana Sutra, right? So from this, maybe we have the idea of offer to the deities, offer to the deities to protect the house, offer to the deities to protect the monastery, offer to the deities, like in general. Why? People, the monastic said that, not the monastic, like the revere monks that I have, you know, talked to, he said that for the deva, the deities, they don't have the form, they don't have the flesh and blood just like us, but they have the power. They have like the, like some power. So if we offer them, just like when you do good things, you do kind things to people. Okay, I give you food, and people gonna, remember you, right? Like, oh, you do the good deeds to them. And if you are in danger, they might come and help you. It's just the same thing. If we do, worship, we do the offering to the devas, they're gonna, they're gonna like you, something like that. And if we in danger, they can help us, something like that. Mm. I don't remember the origin, like the number of the discourse, the name of the discourse, but the Buddha said at one place, at one time, he said that um, if you offer to the deity, they're gonna return you with the, like, he's gonna take care of you in return, something like that. So when we offer to deity, it's just like to make friend with them. Mm. They cannot, the deities, the deva, they cannot make their own merit because they don't have flesh and blood. They don't have, hands, and they cannot, they can only, you know, have the gratitude toward us. For example, when we meditate, when we do the chanting, when we do good deeds, and they're gonna sadhu, sadhu, sadhu with us. And with, by saying sadhu, sadhu with us, they can get the merit. So we're gonna rely, we're gonna depend on each other, right? I'm gonna make merit for myself and my, my loved one, and also gonna share the merit to you, Deva. And just like make friends. Oh, you and me, we have good relationship. We have the good relationship in our house. We have the good relationship in our monastery. We have the good relationship in our workplace. In Thailand, we have like the place for the Deva, right? In the workplace, in the home, in, even in the monastery, they're gonna have, especially in the northern part of Thailand, the place, like, they don't stay there, but we're gonna have your specific place for the Deva, something like that. And the lay people gonna come and make the offering. So yeah, this is from this concept. This concept comes from this discourse, do the offering to the deities. This is the third expenditure in an appropriate sphere on a deserved fitting cost. You make this offering. And then the last one. Furthermore, with his legitimate wealth, he establishes an uplifting religious donation for ascetics and Brahmins. Those who refrain from intoxication and negligence are settled in patience and sweetness, and who tame, calm, and extinguish themselves, that's conducive to heaven, ripens in happiness, and leads to heaven. This is his fourth expenditure in an appropriate sphere on a deserved and fitting cause. See, to make merit, to do the offer to the, religious donation, offer to the temple, to the monastic, is number four, the last one. Having said that, it's just like, to conclude, the Buddha said the fitting actions for you after you earn the wealth, make yourself happy. Make people around you happy. Because you as the householder, as a lay people, you need to have good relationship with people around you, right? You still need to have the society, the social comfort, and help each other. You need to be able to live in the society, in the community, with happiness. So make yourself and people around you happy. After you make yourself happy, defend from the stress, the possible stress, and then do the offering. Not only here, cousins as well, relatives. To the king, don't forget to pay tax. To the king. To the guest, welcome the guest. And then to your ancestor, to the dead people, like to your late people. And then to the deities, make friends with um some like the deva, like in another realm. So it's just like you make ally, right? You make friends to be, you know, it's just like for me in the past I used to think like I have many friends, I have backup. Even though people as a human being do not help me, but I have backup as the deva, something like that. So it gives you a comfort, right? Peace of mind. Like, okay, actually I give merit to many devas, so they're gonna help me, something like that. And then the Buddha conclude that whatever wealth is spent on something other than these four fitting deeds is said to not be expenditure in an appropriate sphere on a deserved and fitting cause, but whatever wealth is spent on these four fitting deeds is said to be expenditure in an appropriate sphere on a deserved and fitting cause. So if you spend all the wealth on these four fitting days, so it's deemed as appropriate. And then the Buddha said, for people who have, done all these fitting deeds before they die, they can contemplate that I have enjoyed my wealth supporting those who depend on me. I have overcome losses. I have given uplifting religious donation and made the five offerings. I have served the ethical and disciplined spiritual practitioners. I have achieved the purpose for which an astute lay person wishes to gain wealth. I don't regret what I have done. Before you die, and if you can contemplate, like, okay, this one, okay, I done it. This one, I made it. This one, I have protected. I have done all the things that are considered appropriate and fitting. So I don't regret what I have done. A mortal person who recollects this stands firm in the teachings of the noble ones. They are praised in this life and they depart to rejoice in heaven. So if you have made the appropriate cause, once when you have when you're alive, right? So of course you're gonna be rejoiced in heaven. So this is as the to conclude this sutra. The first part of the sutra, the Buddha taught the outcome, right? Four things which are likable, desirable, and agreeable are hard to get in the world. The outcome, the pleasant outcome, what are they? Wealth, fame, longevity, and heaven. How to get this pleasant outcome? You need to make a cause. Four things lead to the getting of those four things. Accomplishment in faith, right? You have faith in the Buddha's awakening. Accomplishment in ethics. In this sutra, 5 precepts only. Accomplishment in generosity, love to share, love to give with open-handed. And accomplishment in wisdom. You know that 5 hindrances gonna obstruct you from wholesome qualities. 5 hindrances are corruption of the mind. Then get rid of them. And then next, the Buddha mentioned about the 4 fitting deeds. Taking care yourself and your loved ones, people around you. Learn to protect, from possible stress in life. Do the 5 offerings to the cousin, to the guest, to the ancestor, to the king, and to the deities, to the devas, and then religious donation. If you have made these four fitting cause, fitting deeds, then that means you have spent on the you have made the deserved and fitting cause you spend in the appropriate sphere on a deserved and fitting cause. And then that's it. For, you know, fitting deeds, Patta Kamma Sutra, Anguttara Nikaya, AN 4.61. Any question? Actually, um, it's something that, beneficial because it's something for you as a lay people, right? So, yeah, it's good to learn. Like for me, like that. Um, I like that the Buddha's teaching, has like different level, and you can choose which level that you love to learn first, and you can, like, okay, I love to learn, the the greater knowledge, like the dependent origination, the Four Noble Truths, is good to learn, but you still can make use of the teachings that are, directly for you. Like for this discourse, directly for the lay people. You practice this, you follow this, and then you can learn like the higher wisdom. It's okay, but do not, neglect the discourse that it seems easy, so I don't practice it, and I want, the higher one. It's not like that. Easy, but it's proper to you. You do this first, and then step by step, going up step by step. Okay. I hope you understand. I hope you get something beneficial from this. Hello, Isabel. Hello, Sayanta Fernando. Satu Satu Ayya. Hello, Damarlena. Good morning, and good morning, Ayya, and everyone here. Hello, Andre. Hello, Mike. Hello, Pumika. Jay. Hello, Jay Boy. Jay Bowen said, so are poor homeless strangers on the street not a very deserving and fitting cause to give to? This is the accomplishment of generosity. But the offering, you mean the forfeiting this, right? The offering, if we gonna, think like, what about the poor homeless strangers, right? Actually, it's someone that in our society, right? So in our society, if you want to make our society better, so there are can be included in the people around you. Yeah, so make them happy. So it can be in the first one. So like kind of broad, like the Buddha said, like, okay, this four, but if you think about that, it's kind of have like the broader um not the meaning, but the broader like explanation, like, okay, make myself happy, parents, children, partner, and then friends, colleagues in, yeah, and then you can conclude like people around you, like, okay, this one is, back to the accomplishment of generosity. If you have the generosity, accomplishment in generosity, then you have the wealth, right? And then it means like when you see people that, poor, like that, strangers like that, then generosity. So it's actually connected. So you think of them, of that people, that, okay, my friends, people around me, and, help them. Mm. That's what I think. Thank you, Aya. It would be a good practice to offering at least once a day. Offering is different from giving time or helping with some task. Actually, as I mentioned, it has like the broader meaning than that. Offering doesn't mean like, like now I understand. In Pali, Jaka and Pali, the five offering in this sutra, they use the offering, the English translation offering, but it doesn't mean anything. It doesn't, like the word, it doesn't mean dana or jaka. Different, totally different word. To offer, to donate, in Pali they use the word dana, right? Generosity, share, offer, help, a compliment of offering. It means jaka, right? Different. And the five offerings that here that Jebo asks, actually they use the word Pali. Pali is mean like you it's not to give but to Pali. I understand now. I get it. It's different word in Pali, but they use the same translation in English, right? Pali here is like you take care, and it can mean take care, help, offer, worship. Have many meanings. So to like the offering to ancestor, just like to make merit to the ancestor. And for the offering to the guest is mean like you take care of the guest. Yati Pali offer to the relatives is mean you take care of the relatives as well, right? And offer to the kings is mean like you do the proper thing to the king, like to worship and to like make the offering, like the dana to the king, just like to give money, something like that, pay tax. And to offer to the deities mean like to worship, to make merit and then share the merit to the deities. So actually each one, like the Pali word Pali Kamma, is different from the dana or the jaka, generosity. So as the Jeboen says, like the poor homeless, like it can be include in the number one, maybe like to help people around you, just like to take care and to help. It's different word in Pali. And also here, it would be a good practice to offering at least once a day. Offering is different from giving time or helping with some tasks. Helping with some tasks is actually offering. But it's dana. It's called dana. Dana means to offer, to donate, right? But nana doesn't mean offer the objects only, not the goods, not the money only. But dana here means like to teach. When we teach, like the teacher teach to the children, they say dana as well. And when you give your strength, like you help people clean up, like now they have the flood in the north in Chiang Rai province, right? People gonna come and then help clean the house of people in that area. Dana. So helping with some tasks is the dana as well. You translate as offering. It's up to you, but it's all included in the dana. When you have money and you want to, give money to someone, dana, that's dana. When you have mangoes and you want to share the fruit to your neighbor, that's dana. When I give Dhamma to you is dana as well. Dhamma dana. So the dana, in Pali word, they have many like explanation. Jaka, dana, many translations. Mm. So yeah, giving time, like you give time to your parents. Sometimes you go and stay with them, and then take some time with them, talk to them. Yeah, give dana. Helping with some tasks, dana. You give strength. Mm. So it's something that we mentioned about this. Like when we don't have money, but I want to help you. I want to make merit. I want to donate, to give to dana, but I don't have money. I don't have any money to donate to the monastic. You can come to the monastic and give the strength. You can sweep the leaves. You can help clean the monastery. That is dana already, and that's making merit. Whatever you do that you give out, you can use the word offer. You can use the word like worship. You can use the word like share. You can use the word like teach or give, or it's all about dana, jaka, pali. Mm. But in English translation they use offering. Dana, donation. Jaka, offering. Pali, offering. And it's kind of confusing because that offering, that offering. But yeah, there are three main dana or donation: to donate, to offer in objects. And in objects, they can be divided. Give money is dana. Give strength is dana. Give knowledge is dana. And give money is dana. And if you forgive, if you learn to forgive, that is dana as well. Apaya dana. See, to forgive is the dana as well. And to give the teachings, dhammadana. But to give the teaching, not just to speak like this. It's not limited to only the monastic. You as a lay people, you can give teachings as well. Like, okay, now I learned something new, so I spread the knowledge, share the knowledge to my loved ones. That is dhammadana already. But dhammadana you can share by speech, the true speech, by speaking, or through your action. When you perform good deeds, and people see it. That is to give the dhammadana. Yeah, you perform it yourself, and then when you're happy to do good deeds and people see you, that person seem happy to do good deeds, it's good, right? Actually, by showing that, by performing that to yourself, but people see it and they learn from you, that is dhammadana as well. So it has kind of like the sub level of the word dana. Namo Buddhaya Patushana Hitaya Pahushana Sukhaya Satu Satu. Okay, I hope you understand. But yeah, like all the Dharma teachings, connected. It's all connected, and it's good to learn. It's fun to learn, right? Oh, and one thing I would like to share, even though it's 15 minutes already. I would like to share that in I just watch one clip that like now in Thailand they have many people as a lay people come and then like learn the Dhamma. It's good. It's good sign. It's a good sign. Like people come and learn the Dhamma, and then like try to share their knowledge, just like people in like as a professor, something like that, love to share. And we all like for the monastic and the lay people, we have, like come and then, discuss about that. If you wish to learn the Buddha's teachings, of course, stick to the Tipitaka, stick to the, like the Pali canon. And also, we need to see the root of the vocabulary. You you don't rely on the translation version only. If you can, please read the Pali as well. Know the root of the word. Just like they say, when you watch the Lord of the Ring, I don't really understand that because I watched it once maybe and I don't really remember. They say just like when you watch the Lord of the Ring, the creator, right? They have like the new language, right? This language, that language. But when we translate into Thai subtitle or Thai translation, all Thai language, and we don't know the root of the word. We don't really, appreciate the meaning as much because it just sounds the same. And we in Thai we use the same word, just and we don't really understand like the difference in vocabulary. Just like this sutra, Jaka, Pali, totally different words, but they use offering, give, offer. So it's kind of lost the true meaning. So sometimes I don't say that it's wrong. It's yeah, the book like the Tipitaka is the like the primary source that we should study, right? But try to learn to know the root of the word as well. So like the root of the word actually in Pali language different vocabulary. What is the root of the word? Oh, in Sanskrit, in Pali language, something like that. So you're gonna give you like clearer understanding. We just there's just like the discussion 2 or 3 days ago. It's kind of interesting. VR Hari Naidu said how to deal with toxic people. How to deal with toxic people. This is good question. How to deal with toxic people. First, um, how can I say that? See the mind, see it within yourself, and have the knowledge that toxic people, good people, bad people, nice people exist in the world. But how to deal with toxic people? Deal with the mind. Deal with your mind here. That okay, it's that kind of people exist in the world, but how I'm gonna deal with it? Deal with the mind. Toxic people, angry, anger, come to the mind. Get rid of anger. How to do with it? Loving kindness. Can you do that? Maybe not this time. Maybe equanimity, upekha. People gonna, they're gonna get what they have done. If they do good deeds, they're gonna get good consequence. If they do bad deeds, they're gonna have bad consequence. But it's up to them. It's their problems. It's not my problem. But now I need to focus on the mind right now. Wholesome qualities or unwholesome qualities or ill will, anger, unwholesome qualities, get rid of it by cultivate good wholesome qualities. Loving kindness, can I do this? Sappe satta avera hontu, apaya pacha hontu. May everyone happy. I'm happy. They're happy. If they're not happy, up to them. I'm gonna be happy. Something like that. Mm. It's normal. It's normal that we see like different people. They're just different. But don't don't let the mind wander out. Then you're gonna, wander out all the time. Oh, that person, this person, that person. Never mind. It's their problem. It's their life. It's their choice. Because of ignorance, they do bad deeds. But control the mind. Handle it within here. Good or not? Oh, not good. Oh, that's fine. Get rid of the unwholesome. Cultivate wholesome. Deal with the mind here. Don't be toxic to yourself. Don't let the mind toxic, don't let the mind follow that. Practice here. Focus here. Be mindful. Okay, thank you everyone. Wow, long discussion today. Thank you everyone to, like staying tuned, and such a great discussion, right? And great sutra to learn. I hope you all learn something that you can, use in your daily life, and, embrace the Dhamma, and then live a happy life. Thank you, Greg. Okay, before we leave, say sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, 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 anumodhami. Sadhu, may you all be well and happy and healthy, and may we all follow the teachings of the Blessed One and be able to reach the true liberation, true awakening to Nibbana or Nirvana. Sadhu Nibbana Paccaya Hotu. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.